Welcome to this episode. In the previous episode, we learned about Hazrat Khadijah, first wife of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. We learned that Khuwailid is the name of the father of Khadijah. Most importantly, we have also learned that Khadijah and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had the same ancestry. Qusay happens to be their common ancestor. Khuwailid, father of Khadijah, was the great-grandson of Qusay, while Abdul Muttalib, the grandfather of Muhammad, peace be upon him, was also the great-grandson of Qusay. But these two families had other links as well. The maternal grandmother of Amina, the mother of Muhammad, was a sister of Khuwailid. Moreover, Safiya, an aunt of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, was married to one Awam, brother of Hazrat Khadijah. Qusay was a man of remarkable character and intelligence. He brought together the disunited clan of Quraysh. In his days, Mecca was a small town. There were no permanent houses. People used to live in tents. Qusay persuaded Quraysh to build houses around the Kaaba, leaving enough space for the pilgrims to be able to walk around the ancient building of the Kaaba. Qusay is thus regarded as the founder of the ancient city of Makkah. He allotted various duties for the various clans of the Quraysh tribe in connection with the service of the Kaaba, the regulation of the pilgrimage, and the administration of the city. He erected a building right opposite the Kaaba called Darun Nadwa, or House of Consultation, where matters of importance were discussed by leaders of the Quraysh and where tribal policies were discussed in public. Qusay thus founded a democratic form of governance around the Kaaba and its surroundings. The House of Consultation was also used for social gatherings. The people of Makkah used to organize marriage ceremonies in this building. In the 6th century, the Quraysh tribe began to play leading roles in trade with the neighboring countries. Their trade caravans traveled as far as Syria, Egypt, Palestine, Iraq, and Persia in the north, and to the Yemen and Abyssinia in the south. There was also a certain amount of trade with India and China. The Arab traders used to supply luxury items like pearls, ivory, diamonds, silks, weapons, dyes, and pepper. From the seaports of Aden and Mocha, the bales of goods were loaded from the ships onto the backs of camels. Sometimes the caravans consisted of 1,000 camels, which made the long journey from the seaports to Mecca and then to Damascus in Syria and beyond. Mecca was prosperous because of the profits derived from the trade and because of the sanctity of the Kaaba, because it is the house of Allah, which had been the center of pilgrimage for ages. The religious rites of the pilgrimage lasted 3 days. However, various fairs were held after the pilgrimage, which lasted for about 3 weeks, where the Quraysh sold the articles brought by their caravans. As a settled community, Makkah attracted various kinds of individuals other than those belonging to the Quraysh tribe. They were artisans, carpenters, domestic servants, sword makers, weavers, leather weavers, and slaves. Here, I would like to stress on the fact that Islam had not yet been born. Today, some people allude to the fact that Islam promoted slavery in Arabia, especially enslaved Africans, and that Islam promoted this kind of slave trade. But we have learned in this history that slave trade was a thing long practiced before the introduction of Islam. So where from these accusations from so-called ignorant individuals who want to attribute what happened regarding the Christian slave trade with Islam, saying all religions enslaved Africans? Islam never enslaved Africans. Let me also mention that guards were also employed for the safeguard of the caravans. Thus, Mecca was not restricted to one tribe, but instead it gradually became an urban society. At this juncture, let's talk about Hazrat Khadijah's earlier marriages. Muhammad wasn't her first husband. When Khadijah grew up, her father gave her hand in marriage to one Hala, the son of Zarara. Abu Hala was a merchant. They lived happily, and God blessed them with a son by name Hind and a daughter called Zainab. But according to some historians, Abu Hala had three sons. That's Hala, Hind, and Harith. A few years later, Abu Hala became ill and died. Khadijah cried with grief at the loss of her husband. Later, her father chose Atiq, the son of Aiz, a rich trader, as her husband. They were leading a happy life, but when Atiq went on a business trip to Syria, he died on the way back. Khadijah became a widow for the second time. She had one son and one daughter from this marriage. After the death of her second husband, several influential and rich men of the Quraysh tribe sought her hand in marriage, but she rejected all of them. She resolved that she would not marry again and led an independent life. It so happened that immediately after the death of her second husband, her father also passed away. This was a great loss for Khadijah, as she was supposed to look after the business alone. It was indeed a difficult time for her. In the next episode, we will discuss about how Khadijah was able to manage this business to success. The link to the full episode is in my bio. Kindly follow and watch it.